What's going on? It's Big A the Manga Geek. This is going to be my final video of 2017. I did have an idea of what I wanted to do, but then I got a tweet from Nostalgia and Criticism in regards to the comic book industry at large and sales really. And it was an article from the Hollywood Reporter in which it explicitly states DC takes over a declining market, which comics sold best in 2017. And essentially it's just a list as to, what comics sold best in 2017. And DC kind of tops, well, it's not even kind of, 7 out of the 10 comic books mentioned on the list are from DC. So, the seesaw has tipped in their favor. There are 3 comics from Marvel that feature on it. And yeah, the list pretty much reads as Marvel Legacy being number 1, then Dark Knight's Metal, Doomsday Clock, Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man, Batman issue number 21, Batman issue number 22, The Flash issue number 21, The Flash issue number 22. And was that the button? Is that why that is? Maybe, perhaps, I'm guessing. I can't remember. Someone tell me if I'm right about that, if that was the button, those 4 issues of the Batman and Flash. And Dark Knight's Metal 2 and Secret Empire 0, which I believe was called The Oath, is also on there at number 10. And it just goes to show that whatever DC are doing is resonating more with audiences, but comic books on a whole are on a decline. And it's crazy to think, because obviously there's a lot of movies out there that are super big, but they're not bringing people into comic book shops. And I think really part of the solution to that is to make it more accessible. I think you need to put comic books everywhere, and then people will notice them more. Like, people like us actively go to comic book stores. Someone who's a normie, so to speak, probably can't be bothered to find out where their nearest comic book store is. But if you put it in like the local convenience store or newsagent or something like that, people then may spot it and decide they want to buy it. Maybe that's just an idea, but I think they need to be made more accessible if the likes of Marvel and DC want films to kind of influence what people buy, or hope it gets people into comics, seeing like superhero movies. But anyway, the numbers for all the books on the top 10 list are from Comicron, and a good thing to keep in mind is that these are actually numbers of issues bought by stores in North America, so it doesn't take the rest of the world into account. So they're not the actual customer sales. But I mean, like, for example, when I saw Marvel Legacy on there, I was a bit like, because my store, like, there were stacks of that for weeks. Like, I just remember seeing it there time and time again. And to be honest, I don't know what they did with them, whether they got rid of them or they put them in the cheap bins or whatever. I have no idea. But yeah, seeing Marvel Legacy on that, I just remember how many people didn't enjoy that comic. But overall, comics are in a decline. And I think Marvel kind of understood that things that they're doing aren't resonating with people. And it's not like they cancelled a whole load of books the other week, and there were books that weren't selling. That's the only reason as to why they cancelled those books. It's not because of the identity of the characters in those books. It's not like they don't want to tell stories featuring characters who have a different sexual orientation or are of minority race, for example, or something like that. It's not that at all. It's just that those books weren't selling. They can bring those characters back in the future, but they'll need to kind of have the writing be on point, the art be great, promote the book a lot more, have the writers and artists promote the book as well on social media. It's all about signaling what you're doing and making sure what you do kind of can be enjoyed by most people as well. I think they're finally seeing that the whole identity politics thing with any of their characters just isn't working. You can't make someone's identity the be all and end all of the character. because it won't resonate with everyone. It won't even resonate with everyone who is that thing, because not everyone has the same universal experience from said group. So I think CB Cebulski, from the stuff I've heard and read, that he does kind of want diverse stories. I'm cool with that. I'm down with that, and I'm guessing a lot of you are as well. But it's just that you want those stories to be good, and you want them to be good superhero stories, not weird social justice style stuff, because that isn't what people want. So yeah, the list is interesting. I hope it will kind of make Marvel kind of think a little bit and see that they need to change up their game. They need to change up their game. The best way to do that is to go into the new year with kind of like a fresh approach, a different feel. And I feel like CB Cebulski, if he's paid attention to kind of what goes on online and what people are saying and what people are buying and what stores, comic book stores, are saying as well, because they know what we're buying. They had that whole thing, that breakfast, like lunch or meeting or whatever at San Diego Comic-Con, or was it New York Comic-Con? I forget. I think it might have been San Diego. New York. I'm going to say New York Comic-Con. Yeah, it must have been New York. God, I can't even remember. Yeah, New York Comic-Con, it must have been then. And yeah, they told them, they were saying like, look, you're screwing us here, essentially, pretty much. Like, you keep giving us all these lenticular covers, we can't even sell your standard stuff. So it's the stores know what's going on, and I hope he's paid attention to them. And I hope he takes what they say on board and they make the changes, which we aren't going to see until sometime after the first quarter of 2018. But yeah, that list, I don't know, man. It's like, it's weird. It's funny because it's like I said, it's seesawing in DC's favor, although the market is declining as a whole. We need to get the market back up. We need to get other people on board. We need more people to be into comics, because the more people that are into comics, the better it is for all of us. And we also need to get the people back who decided to leave for whatever reason, and we've got to bring them back into the fold, because the more of us there are, the better it is. The more comics can be sold and bought, and just the better it is for everyone involved. The better it is for the writers. They've got a large audience that can only grow, and we can get the young involved as well, like younger people. The way to get them involved is again, it's good stories, social justice. They thought it was hip and young. That's not. They're totally out of touch. They're out of touch, unfortunately. But yeah, it's an interesting list, man. Anyway, in terms of the comic books on the list, I'm really glad to see that Doomsday Clock is on there, because I really enjoyed that. Most of the others, to be honest, I haven't read. I read Secret Empire: The Oath, which it was okay. It was nothing special. Essentially, it was Captain America speaking to Tony Stark in a coma, saying, "Haha, I'm really evil. Look at me. If I had a mustache, I'd twizzle it." That's pretty much all that was. The Spectacular Spider-Man, I've not read that, and those issues of Batman and Flash, not read that. To be honest, most of the stuff that I like isn't actually on this list. Like, I do shed a tear for Super Sons not being on the list, but unfortunately, it's not doing the numbers to compete with this stuff. But yeah, anyway, so that's it for me for 2017. Let me know as to what you think about DC kind of being the market leader for the top 10 comics of the year, 7 out of the 10. Let me know as to whether you got any of the comics, what you thought in regards to the whole situation, how you think things will evolve for Marvel in the future, like all of that nonsense, all of that stuff. Sound off in the comments. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and as always, I will see you on the next one.